So, yeah, I remember when I used to be praying about my finances, right? And I was struggling. Fresh out of college, I was a teacher. Baby, I was trying to figure it out. But let me tell y'all what happened. I was praying, and I would say, God, I pray that you make me a lender instead of a borrower. So, you would think that that would be like the easy prayer to pray. No, you all, I learned the hard way, right? This ain't a brag on me, this is a brag on God. So at one point in my life, I became the actual lender. Thank God for that, right? You would think so. But with it came people who needed to borrow. Oh my gosh. I think I was at the point I was just like, if another person asked me if they could borrow something. And the best thing was like, even though these people were borrowing, y'all, they was paying me back. So I couldn't even be like, nah, you can't borrow because you don't even pay me back. Now, some people were not. And those were the people I was like, I knew, hey, I basically had paid you off. You won't be able to borrow again, right? So there comes this particular situation where I was asked by someone extremely close to me if they could borrow some money. And I got frustrated. I was like, God, like every time I turn around, they need to borrow some money. I'm sick of this, right? I mean, like I was snapping off, y'all. Next thing I know, here go the Holy Spirit. Tap, tap. Hey, you. Do you remember your prayer? So I make you a lender instead of a borrower. And now you're not satisfied with that either. And then it was like this humbling experience. And God was like, so do you want me to take you back to when you were a borrower? And I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, no. And then he said, do you remember what it felt like when you had to ask, when you were asking to borrow? I was like, man, I didn't like it. It was very uncomfortable. That's when the Holy Spirit had to say, so imagine that person who's asking you. Now, we know some people out here just abusing, right? The system or whatever. But imagine that person who really, really, really doesn't feel comfortable asking you. But they're in their season of borrowing. And one day they will become a lender. Don't ever forget the posture from whence you were once in, and not be humble enough to help somebody else when you are now out of the position that you actually prayed to be out of. God made you a lender for the borrower. So anyways, that was just a word. I don't know why. It was just on my spirit to share with you all. For those who are out of that position where you used to be the person always asking, and now you are the person who people are asking, you got to pick a battle, and you got to pick which position do you want to be in. The lender, which means you'll always have something to give, or the borrower, which means you'll always need something to have. Remember to walk in purpose on purpose. Go to work, God, and I thank you for making me the lender.